Hey guys, I'm new to all of this. A few months ago, I posted just like an introduction, and it was just like a slideshow of my husband and I. I've been watching other videos about trying to conceive journey and along with IVF journey, and I just want to get on here and kind of give a little backstory before we start our journey and I start really getting in depth about what's happening. So my husband and I have been dating for 8 years. We've been married for 2 now. We've been trying to conceive ever since we got married, so almost 3 years now with no luck. We had some trouble going in and seeing a fertility specialist. We just recently have seen one. So before that, we've been trying, nothing happened. My husband had a couple semen analysis done and they came back abnormal. So before we went and seen the specialist, I gave him, or we started taking medication. And it was just a vitamin from Fairhaven, I think it's called. And he took that. We had another analysis done by the specialist, and the specialist says he didn't need to see us because his count had quadrupled. It looked good. Everything looked good, so he didn't need to see him. So we were kind of put at ease, and we moved forward. Well, a year had gone by, still nothing had happened. So I started reaching out to my doctor saying, hey, can you help us out? It's been almost 2 years, and she gave me some blood work, and I had then received some news that I was definitely not expecting. But the blood work came back, and she had said that I have diabetes. And I was shocked. I mean, I was adopted when I was younger, so I have no idea what my family history is like, but I was not expecting that because I've always felt really healthy. I mean, thinking back on it now, there were like some signs to where I was like, you know what, maybe I should have gotten this checked out sooner, but it wasn't anything that I thought they were going to tell me that I had diabetes. So after we found that out, the doctors highly recommended that we do not try to conceive until my glucose is under control. I think the A1C, they want it under 5, and mine was like almost a 10, 9 something. But I went and saw an endocrinologist, and a few appointments, a few months had gone by, and I finally got the go-ahead from him to start trying again. So we tried again for like 6 months. Nothing happened. It was just negative after negative after negative. I was getting discouraged. So I finally went to my OBGYN, and I was like, can you please help us? I mean, everyone has just been telling us, you're young, your husband's 26, you're just 27, you guys are young, you're healthy, it'll happen. But it wasn't happening. So I started kind of giving a little pushback to my doctors, and she ran some blood, or she did a HSG test, see if my tubes were blocked. That came back fine. No blockage, which I was super excited about. And I was thinking that if it was, in fact, again, my husband and the sperm count or whatever, then I was like, well, that's positive because it's easier to fix one issue than multiple issues, so we were hopeful on that, and we were kind of hoping for that. Once that test came back, my OBGYN was like, there's really not anything else that I can do for you. I'm going to refer you to a specialist. And I was like, oh, finally, So we are seeing Dr. Will at Midwest Fertility in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And my first appointment, like going into it, I was really nervous. I was afraid that they were going to just check on my husband, and once they found out, or if they found out that, yeah, his count wasn't where it needed to be, or the shape, motility, whatever the issue was, that they were just going to focus on him and kind of leave me in the dust, and then we were going to have to continue to wait until they gave him medication or whatever it was. I just wanted them to try to fix us both if we were the issue, rather than just keep waiting. And I was super impressed. We went there. He did a pelvic ultrasound on me and had referred my husband to a urologist in Indianapolis, which we are going to see in December. But he also sent me with blood work to get done. So I went and got the blood work done. When he did my pelvic ultrasound, I could tell in his voice that he was kind of like surprised, and like his facial expressions, not concerned, but he just wasn't expecting it. So I asked him, I said, what do you see on the monitor, and he just said, well, for a woman your age, you don't have that many follicles. He's like, but don't worry about it. Like, don't get yourself beat up about it. He's like, let's get the blood work done and see what that has to say. So I had to wait for the first day of my cycle. That was 2 or 3 days away. It finally came. I went and got the blood work done, came back with the results, and he had said that he didn't like the levels of my thyroid or my follicle stimulation hormone. And the thyroid I kind of expected, because that kind of goes with diabetes, but the follicle thing I was not expecting. A couple days later, he called back and had said that my AMH levels came back, and they were very low. He said typically a woman my age or younger, it's between 2 and 4. Women that are like 40 and older trying to get pregnant, 35 to 40, I think he said, is like usually a 1 for them. Well, mine was a 0.44. And he just kind of, he had a voice conference with me, a phone call, and he had just said that, not to stress about it, but he does think that the best option for my husband and I would be to go through IVF. Which again was not something that I was really wanting to do. I mean, I want to be a mother. My husband and I both want to be parents so much. But we were just kind of hoping that it would be a different route. We just weren't expecting this, I mean, our whole lives we plan on having a family, but we didn't think it would be this hard or come to this, I guess. We just weren't prepared for it. So that's kind of where we are right now. He suggested that we wait until my husband sees the urologist to see what the urologist has to say, which is in December. We will regroup again after that appointment, after he gets that doctor's results back to him. And I guess from then he said he will get a definite plan set up, and we can talk about our options and what he thinks is best. So that's just kind of where we're at. And I'm hoping to do this channel to kind of tell my story and what I'm going through, and reach out to people that may be going through the same thing. I know there's different reasons for why people have infertility issues. I haven't really quite figured out why my levels are where they are, if it's diabetes related, if it's not. I don't know. Those are some questions I'm going to have to ask him when I see him. But we're hopeful that, like our first cycle will work. I've seen so many success stories on here, which is another reason why I wanted to do this, because it's just so nice to see them and reassuring, and brings me kind of back to earth. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to go about posting videos. I want to just kind of document this experience for ourselves and for anybody that may be going through it. So I'm excited to see what happens. I hope that the beginning of the year that we can start doing this process and become parents, hopefully. So I really appreciate you watching this video. There'll be more to come once I get a little bit better at this, because like I said, this is my very first time, and I was kind of shy or nervous or wanting to back out, but I think it'll be really good for my soul to do this and just kind of put it out there. So I hope you guys come back, subscribe, get notifications to know when I post. I appreciate it. Bye.